Hi. Look at us on a weekend. There I was this morning getting up and I'm like, getting about my day, and I thought, oh, Jesus, we got a fucking show today, and we're going to be in Ottawa this afternoon, and that's where we find ourselves. I have, just so everybody knows, I got my nachos. I got some Tostitos dip because I am not taking this as seriously as other people are. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the program. Ryan Lindley, Lachlan Cross, Marianne Iveson from Let's Take This Outside podcast, and, of course, Karima, who's in Ottawa. Karima Rules, ladies and gentlemen, is Rolling Thunder. We've had all kinds of shit happen over the past 24 hours. Marianne is in Ottawa, as with Karima. You guys got caught up today. Listen, I'm really excited to do this today, and I've been kind of following everything this morning. I feel better about this one. I don't feel as like angry. I don't feel as stressed. I don't feel like, you know, we've got a job to do in interceding on behalf of Canadians. This, to me, is just like a giant drunken hillbilly picnic. Is that not kind of the vibe there?
Wasn't the last one the same, though? Like,
yeah, but it was a little more violent. It didn't feel picnicky. It didn't have a picnic. It had more of a soup kitchen vibe.
This one's more of a picnic vibe?
Yeah, this one's more of a picnic.
Could be the weather, too. But
yeah, nice out there, right? Like, what is it, like 18 degrees out in Ottawa today? It's a beautiful day, sun shining. We got lots of video and audio to get to. Karima, why don't we start with you? Where are you right now? And is my assessment correct? Because you're pounding out videos again at Karima Rules on Twitter if you want to follow her. But it's more of a fun vibe. And what are you, like the fucking town mayor of Crazyville? Because everybody keeps coming up to you going, "Hi, Karima, how are you? Nice to meet you." Both sides. It's crazy.
It's very weird. And yeah, I would say that there's less of an obvious undercurrent of anger, which is absolutely what we saw in February. I think there's still sort of discontent, and that is what is drawing people out. But sort of the vibe is picnic-esque, right? It's more of a festival than what previously. I wouldn't say that there's much to do about veterans. So again, the messaging is not so much on point. But I think the nice weather has, lifted some spirits. Certainly the main differences that I've observed are police response and the citizens' response as well.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that last night. Saw some citizens fighting back and throwing rocks at people and doing their own little fucking wiener protests. I thought it was really funny. But is it like how would you describe it, Marianne? You went down with Karima. She's going to go on walkabout in just a second. But like you were in Ottawa for the last one and had to get the fuck out, right? Mm-hmm. This one's a little different. You went down and kind of embraced it. But how do you describe what you saw? Like how did you describe what's going on in Ottawa?
I want to describe that in a second, but you mentioned earlier how people are approaching Karima, and there was two people that I remember who came up to Karima, and you don't really know what they're going to say, and we even had a conversation about that too. But it sounds like most people are nice, but I had two memories from today. One guy who's like, "I got a bone to pick with you," and I think there's actually a video of it on Twitter. But he was just making fun of her about the Sens jersey that she was wearing. I wasn't sure how that interaction was gonna go.
Fair.
And then the second person, it was this woman that just like came up to her and was like, "You're mean to the convoy, but you get good documentation. But you're very mean." Like she said it twice. She's like, you're very mean to the convoy. It was the best. It was.
She's off base there, because that's the one thing that I've been surprised by Karima is she shows up and she's just there. There's no attitude from her part. Like, I mean, that's if they're picking up something from Karima, it's because they feel guilty about being there.
That's exactly
my sense, right?
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree, because all she's doing is taking pictures. She's not saying a word. She's just putting the camera in front of people, and people are making their own assumptions of what's going on, and then they attack Karima. It's totally not fair, because she's being very unbiased when she's there.
I feel like you're getting attacked less. Like you do stuff like this. You took a picture with Barry Thong Guy. I think Marianne, you took this picture today.
Yeah. An audible. I was like, "Are you sure? You want to get a picture?"
By the way, Great tits on the guy. And then here he is showing his. And Karima, you look like you're having fun. Like here he is showing you the back of his ass. He turned around the camera. You look like you're actually having fun with some of these guys this time, as opposed to like fearing for your fucking life.
Screwed.
There's less fear for safety, and that's not to say that kind of we dismiss, what's going on here, but I've been compared to Jane Goodall in the past, and I think that resonates. Where I'm here observing, and he surprised us actually. I should have known better, but we got a picture with him on the front, and then he's like, "Do you want the other side of the sign?" And then we got the full back side. And how do you not laugh at that? I don't know.
I don't know how you don't laugh at it, but what I did do, just for everybody's edification. No, yeah, you have to look. It's okay. No, it's okay. What I did do is I zoomed in on his balls because there's some killer like side ball here, and I don't know.
Can someone tell me when it's gone, please?
That's a Lululemon debit card holder, isn't it?
Jesus. Yeah,
I'm not.
What's that? No. I can get even closer. Look at that. I zoomed right the fuck in on his ball bag. I will say this, and he seems to take care of business down there, Locke.
I was just going to say that. I also, I think he might be a shower.
Is it gone? Is it gone yet?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's not there anymore. I swear.
It's gone.
You can look. You can look.
Good.
There's more ball bag. More ball bag. Okay. So,
I would have a hard time in that outfit.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Where would you put them?
I would need a larger pouch for the nuts.
Sure you would. Okay.
I do have a nut problem though. I swear to God.
Yeah, Karima can attest to it that she's seen it. She's just heard Locke talk about it every single time she's been on to talk about legal things in society.
I need containment. There's no way that's holding those balls.
Dude, I gotta get a pair of these Gitch. I gotta send you a pair of Gitch. You'll put your nuts in there. You'll feel great. I gotta send a pair of Barry Thong Guy too.
Like, is this a new record for like talking about your own junk?
Yeah.
How long are we into the show?
7 minutes. What's that, Karima?
I don't think this is a record. I think that we are like
par for the course. I know. Okay, so let's, if we can, I want to go before we go on a walkabout. I want to find out what it's like to walk around with Karima at one of these things, Marianne, because I'm watching videos, and not even her videos at Karima Rules, but I'm watching videos of people like, there's Karima. There's Karima. She's like a fucking celebrity to both sides, is she not?
She's a celebrity, and the amount of people who actually the woman who said to her, "You're mean to the convoy," like took a selfie with her. It was really weird. So it's like people just want to take pictures with her, whether they like her or not. But everyone's like, "I know you from Twitter." Right? Like there's this. So it's actually really cool to see because Karima's so grounded and down to earth about it. And she's like, I'm just here and I just want to, observe and take pictures and take video. And she's so grounded about it. So it's a really cool experience to see because, you see both sides of it. You see people who are like, you're mean. And the other people who are like, yeah, I follow you on Twitter and I love what you do. So again, even in our short time together today, I saw the full kind of scope of it, I think. Although it was really I don't know, like Karima and I were talking about, it's just like a different vibe this time, I think. It feels like there was something about it where I felt safer. It could have been, I don't know, the thousands of cops around who were very heavily armed. But it felt different for a couple of reasons. It was sunny. It was bright. The fact that I could physically see them leaving, like they had the motorcycles had come up and very close to the war memorial, but the police were turning them around. So to physically see them leaving was like such a big relief. It was a very different vibe, and it feels like Karima said, it feels kind of more like a picnic and less of like staying at someone's house for 4 weeks.
Yeah. No, dude, and that's the vibe I get from even just watching the shit today. Like it's, I'm not as jacked up. I don't think anybody else is. You see the same kind of people doing the same things. A couple things.
This one flew under the radar a bit. Like it's not. It's definitely doesn't have the same sort of aggressive, coverage either. Like my wife didn't even know about it. I'm like, she goes, "Why are you doing a podcast?" I'm, "Oh, there's this biker thing, this Rolling Thunder. You haven't heard nothing."
Nothing.
She's like,
She
"I
hadn't
haven't heard a
anything.
thing." Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think it's because we learned what it ended up being last time, and I don't think they really want to put the effort into it unless it does boil over into what we saw at the end of Ottawa. But this doesn't have the Windsor vibe. This doesn't have the Ottawa 1.0 vibe. So
I think they're a lot more prepared.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just think they're a lot more prepared this time. Also, I think, and there's no messaging really around it. You know, there's like the veil of the veterans, right, that they put over it. But I don't think there's much of a. I don't think there's a lot of messaging. So maybe it's not as easier to rally behind, or maybe there's not as many people. But it still shocks me though to see it with my own eyes how many people are there and how many people believe in it. People with families, people like dragging their kids on like wagons and like with like musical instruments. It's like, you know, they're treating it like a festival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's no like outside messaging. And Karima and I were talking about it before, and you put this in one of your tweets here, Karima. You're like, yeah, I mean, you know, these people are talking. There's lots of talking, but no one's like actually saying, here's what we're here for. It's all still loosely based, Karima, under the guise of veterans. But I mean, the second the whole thing started, it just turned into another kind of free for all, just a little less violent and a bit of a better vibe. Is that not correct, Karima?
Very much. Yeah, and I was speaking actually to a reporter from the Times, the New York Times, and they're not even, I don't think, going to run a story about it because there's nothing that's happened. And in a way, it's good that this is uneventful compared to sort of the previous iterations. But there isn't a whole lot of consistency. I think, you know, and to Marianne's point, like there are people who are federal employees, people who are, you know, in the trades, people who are unemployed, people like there's, and not just to characterize people by their job or profession, but it's we would be remiss to paint this with one brush. And so all sorts of factors have showed up. And I think that's because there wasn't a lot of forethought that went into this. And so the manifestation is very similar to what we've seen otherwise constantly. And it's just sort of the same old, with, you know, a slightly different veneer, motorcycles, veterans, but that's not how I would characterize the overall event.
Might be worth pointing out too that there isn't a reason to protest.
Can I also point out that there wasn't a lot of like, Karima, please confirm this with me, but there wasn't like a lot of motorcycles. Like they came up, but like it was like 10 minutes. It wasn't very long.
The same like 8 to 10 motorcycles have been circling around all day.
Change your jacket.
Hey, put this shirt on. Put this hat on. Put a different helmet on. Go back around and do it again. Yeah. Same. I mean, all the videos I've seen. Sorry, Karima, I don't mean to interrupt you, but all the videos I've seen have basically confirming what you're saying. It's like literally the same dozen, motorcycles. And by the way, I saw a couple of scooters in there. Thank God, the DUI-cycles. They did make an appearance. But it's really the same. You know, it was never about a biker rally, right? It was never about veterans. It still isn't. But you know, God forbid, and I'm going to say this out loud, and it goes against the tenet of my being, but I will say this. I kind of, it just looks like a regular protest. I mean, you had some fucking dimwits last night get up to no good. This is what James put out this morning. Highlights from the first day of Rolling Thunder. 7 people arrested, 24 vehicles towed, 1 broken window. 0 coherent messages as to why they're there in the first place. Today's forecast, much of the same, right? Like, to me, this is kind of what if the Flu Trucks clan wasn't full of like extremist wackos and absolute lunatics. To me, this is a protest. This should be allowed to happen in this country. We should be allowed to facilitate people coming down, getting together for whatever the cause is, if they're not going to be hateful when they're there. And a lot of the video that I've seen, other than skirmishes with Ottawa police and different individuals, which are going to be the regular individuals that'll get into skirmishes anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong, Karima, but it really seems like, I mean, these people are abiding by the rule of law so far. Is that not correct?
I think there's probably 5 to 10%, if I were to estimate, of people who are looking for a fight and looking for confrontation. There's a fair number of families out here, so I don't think that that's their MO or end game. And as far as obtaining permits and whatnot, I don't think that that was a thing that happened. So
No way.
Issue, right, where it's not kind of this is just a fait accompli, and I don't know that that's rule of law in practice, but it's what we're dealing with. I have seen sort of some of the similar swastika comparing Trudeau to authoritarian regimes, yellow stars, and those are features of practically every rally that I attend.
It's fucking boring and lazy at this point, though, is it not? Like, fuck.
It's just, that's the talking point, right? And so you see it repeatedly because there hasn't been sort of moving on from that. But I want to point it out because that's still sort of an element of what's going on. So even though, this is friendlier vibes, if we call it that, it's still rooted in sort of similar rhetoric and discourse.
Stupidity.
Yeah, well, dude, just the Jesus discourse is still going on. Did you guys see this today? There was a priest there that showed up. Did you see this, Karima?
Fuck off.
Well, I know that they ended with the war memorial service. I don't know that and there's always preachers who are speaking. Consistently, always, and almost always evangelical or dominionist.
That's a camouflage stole. I don't think that's issued by the church.
Oh, he's going to go whoop some ass after this is all done. This is Christina Tenaglia from CP24. She put this up. Obviously, she's there. She's like, I'm not sure who this is, but this message is not consistent with Christian denomination I'm aware of. Calls out CBC Media for protecting independent media, Rebel News. And he legitimately said, God bless Rebel News. And he called out CBC as like a satanic fucking news agency. Like, that's the stuff, right? Like, that I get all upset about. And at the same time, I also fucking get a total kick out of. What's the Jesus factor like at this one? Did you ladies notice the difference? Is Jesus still the reason for the season? Or are people like moving away from the colonial Jesus stuff and just, having a drink or two and doing some meth in the afternoon? What are we seeing?
I think I saw more of like just the same rhetoric about freedom more than anything. I don't think I was close enough or long enough to get the Jesus rhetoric. I didn't see the Chris Guy stuff. I didn't see that this afternoon. So I just saw more like the rally and the stuff at the War Memorial earlier today.
Did Chris Guy end up showing up?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh,
Apparently
okay.
He placed the wreath. I missed that. And he did not speak. But he's supposed to maybe speak at Parliament Hill, but they're running behind because their base is messed up. So I don't know.
So he's there?
Yeah, he's here. I saw him yesterday. In fact, two of his former entourage, who we had on the December show, Carrie and Jeremy, they're here with just say Horseface Shirts, and so I get disruption.
Yeah, they were from our New Year's show. I remember them.
Yeah, we had them on the New Year's show. These are the people that outed Chris as an abuser and put that tape out. These two people, their shirts just say no to Horseface. And then they got some picket signs. Chris assaults his crew. I am proof. These were a nice couple. We talked to them. It's fucking funny. Yeah. The splintering of this group is almost coming full circle too, is it not, Karima? Like, are you not seeing more people?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's been division, sort of, and I think that's inherent whenever you have people organizing. You're going to have sort of splinters, right? So I've noticed it, especially in Toronto. Like, that's where I'm most plugged in, and there are now competing rallies every Saturday, where one marches by the other, and there's not necessarily overt hostility there. Although I think that there was a fist fight a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, especially if people who are in positions of leadership, have ulterior motives, there's only so much kind of of a pool to draw from, right? And so you start to have clashes as a result, because how much kind of money or attention can you take? There's a limited pool of that, right?
My understanding is that there's some bikers that are looking for him for other reasons there as well. So I thought he would. Yeah, I had a conversation with some people this last week, and they were like, he needs to watch out. And I'm like, really? What do you know? He's like, he just needs to be careful where he goes when he's in Ottawa. So like, he's got like all kinds of legal problems here, and I give him kind of like dummy credit for actually showing up, Karima, like a little bit.
You're kinder than I. Which is maybe the first time I've ever said that.
No, but I'm serious. Like, the guy shouldn't even fucking be in the province. Like, he is such a complete lunatic and degenerate, and he's wanted on I don't know how many different outstanding thises and that's and buried bail conditions and warrants. And not only that, do you remember the RV that he rented? He fucking crashed it when he got to British Columbia, and the guys that own the RV company are also the kind of guys that don't take kindly to people that pretend to be bikers, and they want his ass in a pair of chaps. So I'm looking forward to because I think he's speaking at 3:30, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
It was supposed to be 2 and then 2:30, and now maybe you are right. I'm
just seeing a message saying that he just posted on Telegram. It's 3:30. Like he just posted right now. So
all right, you want to go for a walk? Do you want to walk down? Do you want to walk down there now?
Everybody I've asked about it, right? Like, do you know when, where, what's happening? They're like, I don't know. I don't really like him. So
we got to get you on your scooter. She's got the scooter vision.
I don't know if she's on it. Are you on your scooter? Or are you going to walk?
Yeah, you're in.
She got the scooter.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh,
awesome.
She's scooting. This is the best part. Is going on scooter.
If I crash on live stream and embarrass myself, I'm going to be very sad.
We can edit that out.
But we'll probably laugh our asses off as long as you're okay. Yeah. That's so cool. Karima's down in Ottawa right now. We're there for the Rolling Thunder rally. She's been there for a couple of days. She's making her way down to, she was just at the War Memorial, making her way down to where all this stuff is going on. And while she's on her way down there, Marianne, when you were there and you walked into this space and you live in the area as well, not to tell everybody where you live, but you live sort of in the area where people are like not supposed to be.
You live there.
You live there in downtown Ottawa. Not saying where, but you live there. And was it hard to get around? Like, has this been like one of those, Ottawan pain in the asses? I mean, there's always a fucking protest, right?
So I'm not sure if you probably do remember last time they had to shut down a bunch of the highway, off ramps and on ramps. There was constant disruption last time. I remember on the weekends, it was really hard for me even to drive anywhere in the neighborhood because the bridges were blocked, the main roads were blocked. When I say blocked, I mean just extremely backed up because of all the traffic coming in on the weekends. So this time around, yesterday, I was just going out and getting some errands. I wanted to get off the main, it's called Nicholas, to downtown. And it was blocked off by police because I guess there was a bunch of cars parked around the street called Lee's, and they were trying to clear it. Anyway, I was instantly enraged because I was inconvenienced because I had to take an entire detour to get home yesterday because of these idiots, right? And it brought me back to those moments where I had to go through police checkpoints to get to my home, or it brought me back to the moments where I couldn't really leave on weekends. So it was more about just the overall feeling, and not that I was slightly inconvenienced and had to go around. It was more about the feeling of how is this happening again? Why is this imagine having a hard time leaving and coming from your home. Imagine the main exits for you to get off of, you either have to go down another 4 exits to get around and get to your home. Yes, again, it's an inconvenience. I get that, but it just, again, it brought me back. It brought me back to 2 months ago.
What we're missing here, Marianne, is that they're there for our freedoms.
And if you're mildly inconvenienced by something like that, you're more than welcome to hold your own protest.
No, not at all.
What do you got for it? That's a good one. Yeah. There. By the way, Locke just brought up a great point. Karima, is that these guys are there for our freedom. But where are you now? And what are we looking at? Karima, you got us?
She's by the War Memorial.
Oh, she said, hang on.
Okay, she's by. I'll.
Yeah, I'm right by
Yeah.
the cenotaph, I guess. So that's behind me, and then there's like
Grandma go nuts.
That was the best.
Tell her not to be violent,
that's where
please.
we're at.
Please make
Well,
sure she's not violent.
I actually,
Hopefully she's not too far away from her oxygen.
Oh,
guys stop laughing. That was the perfect. That was the best little side glance I've ever seen. Karima's in front of the War Memorial, tilts the camera. She's like, "Here's the crowd. It's a lady with a fucking emphysema COPD tube going into her nose and a walker." And then she's like, "That's where we are, everybody. That's where we." Is that
welcome to Ottawa.
Yeah, is she with the group or no?
she had a flag.
Oh, and look, there's some motorcycles, but they're
All right.
cops.
All
Oh,
right.
it's cops.
Oh, those
It's
are
cops.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh no, there's a few legit ones. Well,
Yeah.
legit.
Has anybody gotten into the exclusion zone? Is that God? That was
Yes,
fucking
this is.
funny.
We are currently in the exclusion zone.
Geriatric thunder.
Okay. So you're in the exclusion zone, and geriatric thunder just went by on to steal Ryan's word on her little seated scooter walker thing. But there she
There she goes again.
Stop! She's adorable. Maybe
Where's the
You know
police?
what?
Somebody
I have
call
a
the
theory.
cops.
She's just a tourist, and she happens to have a Canadian flag, and she's out for a nice day. That's my theory.
right. Okay, we
Her
should
name
laugh.
her name is Helen.
No,
No one cares.
Or Irene.
no, she's
Irene.
she's a troublemaker. That one. Watch her.
Karima, are you? Is this the crowd? Like, is this?
No, you know what? I'm being a little bit I came here because it was quieter. So what we'll do is I'll take a ride up to Parliament Hill, and then I'll show you the real crowd.
Can you flip your camera around so we see so we see the way you're where you're going towards?
Yes.
Yeah,
Bear with me while I figure out how to do that on here.
It's hard to work a fucking phone in the sun. It really is. I get it. You're like looking at it, especially you got glasses on.
Hold
There
on.
we
What
go.
I'm going to do is just hold my phone the other way. So
All right.
I'm an old person. Yeah, there
You
you
can
go.
hear us, but
I think
So I'm
once
gonna
you
put my phone this way, we're gonna ride it up.
establish the recording, you can't flip it around.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that's part of the issue.
So Karima's at the War Memorial.
Tech whiz here.
We just saw the Queen emphysema at the.
Oh yeah, but I'm very appreciative. I'll message you. It doesn't talk shit.
I love how she's just kind of doing business with people while she's there too. Just like, yeah, I'll message you. I'll let me know.
I met a friend from Twitter, and I just have now a bunch of fucking cookies. So I'm gonna have a good night.
Oh wow!
Every
She's
time.
got a bunch of podcasts.
Every
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
she always gets hooked up every time she's on her show.
Steven, did I just hear you say someone gave you a bunch of weed edibles when you got there? Is that correct?
Is this okay, angle-wise?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. She's just, you know what she does? She scores so much free pot when she goes to Ottawa. I feel like that's also part of the draw.
You might be right.
I really do. I feel
I'm
like
not
part of
sure
it. Like
I
the
would
last
be-
time
We
last
call
time
that
we had her
listener
on, she
food.
was listener food.
That's what I was thinking about, actually.
Mhm.
All right,
That's
here
what I
now
was
we're
thinking
getting to it.
There's
this is,
definitely there's two sides of the equation on listener food, right?
well, listener weed is different than listener food, but I will say,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is because like
Angel
last
dust.
time we had her on, someone in the middle of the podcast literally handed her like 2 pounds of weed in a bag and said, "Have a great weekend."
In
And
the
she's
lobby
like,
of
"Thanks."
the hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
At the Super 8.
Okay. Marianne, what are we looking at here? Where's Karima? Where's Karima driving
She's just on Wellington Street, and it's actually like the War Memorial and Parliament Hill are very, very close together. So,
to? Okay.
yeah, she'll be there, and I think, yeah. So the Terry Fox statue is like pretty much right where
here, yeah.
she is. Yeah.
Just to the left.
And then on the right is Parliament Hill. There it is.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Karima's there. Flag City. I don't remember when flags became the statement of choice for people, but it seems to have been in the last year. Karima. It's like
we've talked about that. You and I, Dean.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We got police. See, this is a very different vibe already, Karima.
Because there's actually 2 police.
Well,
yeah, there's a kid with an anonymous
mask
on. Jesus.
A lot of neck
You know
beards.
what, though? That's actually smart because I don't feel comfortable taking pictures of children.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a good feeling to cultivate. And at least it protects the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what? Yeah, from the
Here's-
stupid
got
parents.
some mixed up Canadian and American flags here. Hold on.
Yeah.
You know what? What is that? Why? And that so triggers me. Listen, this is an open invitation for anybody watching this that has a problem with this country. If you need help moving, I'll be there. Just send me a note on Twitter. I'll come fucking help you pack.
I'll pay for the truck.
Mhm.
Go. Get out of this country. If you think that what they're doing south of us is so much better than what's happening. What is this? What is the Trump thing? Like, fuck. It's just
There was
stupid.
I was sitting in Chipotle, which is like right in the Rito Center, and there was a guy with a Trump flag, and I wish I had a picture of it. It was a Trump flag, and it was like Trump like imposed on like a Hulk body, maybe. Like in this massive flag. I don't know, maybe Karima will see it today. I would love a picture. I would love some video of it. But like,
what is that?
That's something I noticed today was I'm like, I don't know what 99% of these flags are. Like, I don't know what most of this stuff is.
Karima, when you do you talk to any of these guys that like walk around with the flags, like the American flags? Do you ask them why the American flag? Well, what's the deal with you know doing the companion American Canadian flag bullshit?
So yeah, the sort of the typical answer I get when I talk to people about that is just, you know, that North America standing strong together.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
It means nothing. Like, it means nothing to what they're saying that they're there for. I don't get it. It's just it's an excuse to wave a flag.
Right? Yeah, it's the whole thing. I mean, it's you know, it kind of like it's one of those triggering things for a lot of people, especially like guys like Locke, whose family's got steeped in a history of like military experience in this country.
Veterans.
Have you seen Neil Sheard? Speaking of like military veterans, because I've got some information about Neil Sheard. Have you seen him around, the organizer? Has he done anything yet?
Oh yeah, he gave the opening remarks basically at the cenotaph and looked like he prepared zero. So he was just winging it. Was my instinct, or maybe he got super nervous and fucked up. So yeah, you know, it was basically like we wanted to have the motorcycles here, but we couldn't. So it is what it is. And I don't know. I would be embarrassed if I brought all these people here for this, but I guess he's fine.
Yeah.
How many people are there right now?
Hold on. I'm gonna park my little scooter here, and I'm gonna climb on the.
Sorry, Dean. I'm taking over the question.
While she collects the info there, I've got a question for you guys. Like she said, like maybe 5 to 10% of the people are there with like nefarious reasoning behind them. If this is just like a unity thing, I think that's where I'm not very angry about it. Good, you know what? Hey, you guys want to get together and be friendly and have a good time? I'm fine with that. But like, go through the right channels, get a permit, go to a field somewhere. Don't block roads. Let the residents.
Oh, dude, I feel that way about every protest. 4,000? Is that what you said?
Well, I don't want to put a number on it because I'm bad at numbers. But there's a few thousand at least, I would say.
Yeah.
It's no Canada Day.
Yeah.
On Canada.
Yeah, they likened the last one to Canada Day too, and it wasn't even close. But I mean, yeah, and I'm with you, Linz. I mean, you know, we're watching everybody kind of do their thing, and to me, this is just like fucking free content for the weekend. Like it's sure. Did we see some shit that was untoward? Like, did I see a cop literally take a woman and throw her to the ground? Yes. Did I see that woman push the cop prior to him throwing her to the ground?
Yeah.
Yes. Did I see a couple guys get hauled off and arrested? No one tasered yet. I haven't seen
not on tape.
Single fucking tasering, which is a crying shame. But I'm waiting for. Is Chris Guy taken to the stage yet? He's supposed to be on there now.
3:38. Okay, I'm gonna go in.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. She's
Yeah,
heading
I'm
over to
not,
the stage. Karima's in Ottawa. She's downtown, there for Rolling Thunder, heading over to the stage. Chris
Still
Guy,
a
no
funny name.
military experience, wanted by bikers around this country, has decided to come back to Ontario, which is a terrible idea. We might see him get beat down on stage by a couple of bikers, the 1%ers, the real guys, right? Not the guys that are faking being bikers and showing up for this stuff, but like real dudes that want a piece of his ass because he's Chris Guy and he's a piece of shit. So if we get the chance to see this, this could be like all world content. This might
Why
be
did
one of
he
those viral
upset
things
the
where,
bikers?
well, he borrowed an RV, didn't pay for it, and crashed it, and then told everybody to fuck off. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if that bill was paid in at all. To tell you,
No,
the
I don't
truth.
think it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
How does he make money?
Sells T-shirts.
yeah, he's a grifter.
Sells T-shirts and bags for crypto. That's how he makes money now. Yeah.
Oh shit, he's speaking right now. I'm going up.
Okay. Karima's got you. There she is. She's
I would
going up to see
recognize
Chris.
that voice.
All right.
And now they recall
Oh,
50
God.
different guys because they're toxic. We told you not to take the jab, and some of you were crazy enough to put it into your children. And now we have studies coming out from all over the world, some released as late as April 29th, 2022, that state that now the rate of things like myocarditis, this is a lifelong heart condition with a 50% chance of death in 5 years to your children, is now like 1 in 2 to 3,000. Did you hear that right? 1 in 2 to 3,000. This is just one adverse reaction. And they're going to try to string you along. They're going to try to tell you we need a booster and a 4th shot and a 5th shot. And they're not going to stop because they have an agenda. And that agenda, once again, is not your health and safety. It's control. And that's why, as you saw, when we went, they came with brute force. They mandated everything.
He's too short for me to get a visual.
Get him a milk crate.
Yeah, I love the guy with the college sweater on too. It's about. Oh, there he is.
They relinquish vaccine passports in places. But the reality is they're clamping down harder than ever. Look how hard it was just to have a simple protest here today. They're already trying to re-invoke powers of the Emergency Measures Act without using the emergency measures. They've got things like Bill 100 to make it harder, easier to arrest people.
Bill 100 is a provincial piece of legislation.
Wrong part.
And now, of course, they have to provide agent provocateurs to try to distract me from what I'm trying to do. Once again, why are they doing all this? Because they're afraid of the truth.
Hey, did we just see a fight?
Block the stage, block the stage.
Oh yeah, someone wants to kick his ass. This is what I told you was going to happen.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
What happened?
Dude, there's a fight. Someone's trying to get to Chris. Someone's trying to get at him, it looks like. They said block the stage. He said there's an agent provocateur, which is like a code for a biker that wants to kick my ass because I stole from him.
Money.
There was some kind of disturbance. I don't know precisely what.
Oh, fuck, we lost. Shit. Oh my God, Chris Guy was about to get his ass kicked by real bikers. That was a fucking shame.
Hit
That's
record.
the only reason
Hit
I
record.
tuned in today.
Yeah, maybe just get the clips and we'll
get
come
the
back to
clip.
it. Yeah,
I got to tell you,
The only reason I tuned in today. I don't
we
even know
almost-
why I'm here.
now she can get it in high def. Oh,
There she is. There she is. What happened there? What happened, Karima?
That my thumb. That was my thumb.
That's okay. What's the fracas? What's happening?
Nice piece of lawn.
What's happening, Karima?
Mariachi band?
You need a good bed for a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You're
need a
right.
good beating
Mexican.
music bed.
Mexican is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mariachi band.
Some beating
Mariachi
music.
band.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, my God. Those are the guys that Chris Guy beat up on his bus.
Yeah.
And they had
were
them
right
pulled
there.
out. That was happening right now when we were actually just lost the fucking feed. My God. Yeah, so they beat up Chris. Chris Guy beat those kids up, and then those kids showed up with their signs. He called them agent provocateurs on behalf of the government, and then Chris Guy's little bully friends, who, by the way, I would fold in half like this. Chris Guy's little bully friends then grabbed them and started moving them out. Like, that's what I believe we just saw. Karima, Karima, you there? Hello, can you hear us?
Let's go back to normal. Relax.
Back on the grass, please.
Take it easy.
Whoa.
Yes, ma'am.
There he is. There's the little midget right now, the little horse face midget.
It's a Gap Kids pants model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to stop the truth. You can't stop the truth. You can't silence the truth. So what do you got to do? You have to try to distract.
I wonder how much coke he's on right now. He's got to be flying, Lock?
Look at that pacing.
I know, because I was in BC and I did the TED Talk thing with Bill Gates, and we had people chanting, "Arrest Bill Gates," in the thousands. But the very next week, when I was in Calgary, they passed an injunction. They called it a temporary injunction against the protest. And they used it to start arresting people for doing things like speaking through a microphone.
Doesn't seem like he's doesn't seem like he's talking about veterans at all yet. I haven't heard him speak about veterans. Has he said anything yet?
So I don't know at what point I cut out, but the counter protesters who we were looking at, like, they got escorted out to booze with the RIP sign. And now he's talking about Bill Gates.
Yeah.
We saw how the police treat us when the push comes to shove. We saw it again last night. Last night, they instigated that. And we weren't violent, but I'm not going to say that everyone was 100% peaceful and loving. But it's hard to be that way when they're literally provoking you and pushing women on the floor in front of you. Just like these people came here to incite a problem. They did the same thing last night. Why? Because they want to demonize this movement. They want to call it racist, homophobic, transphobic, or any other label they can, because they don't have an actual argument. You cannot argue against the truth. That's why you have to send idiots like that in here to try to shut me up. Because the more I talk, the more I make sense.
Right.
How many times have you heard this, Karima?
The thing that's going to make sense.
He's consistent, which is more than we can say for
non-compliance.
the rest of us.
And our friends that ride motorcycles, they're united and non-compliant by nature.
There's no motorcycles.
I've been trying to bring out each and every one of you to fight for your children, to fight for your family, to fight for this country. And we need to appeal to them. They need to understand. And I know they get it, because they do so much for their community, especially the children. But no children are suffering more than any other time in history than right now. And I'm telling you, all those.
Oh, with the kids?
Oh, like coal mines, but, you know.
Yeah. Is all null and void if you abandon your country right now.
Oh, now the guilt piece, right? You abandoned your country, your kids, you let them down.
This is your fault.
This is your fault. My wife is an adult film star. I have all kinds of herpes. I breed dogs, but not with other dogs, stuff like that.
Herpes simplex D, which is new.
I started going bald at 13.
I can't reach the top shelf in my kitchen cupboard.
Yeah. I can't dish. That was what?
That was Rob Primo.
Oh, did he come and say hi to you?
Yeah, he did. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but
no, I didn't.
in on what happened.
What happened? Say hi to Rob. Tell him I said hi.
Oh, that's not helping. You on the phone, and you got me through this. Or you're the reason I'm here today.
Oh, we lost it. Lost it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Oh, now we lost Marianne. Nope, now she's back.
There she is.
That is fucking fun to watch. You know why? Because I sat and watched Chris Guy literally repeat every tweet. Hang on, here she is. She's back again. Can you hear us? Can't hear you. Is your volume turned down?
You might be muted.
You might be muted, or you might have to go out and come back in. Karima. Yeah, go out and come back in, and then we'll get you again. He's just repeating all the same shit, right?
Yeah, it's
Kids,
the same narrative.
That's it's a tactic. It's what he does.
Yeah.
And it's just to drive it, and then these people eat it up. The ones that are there cheering him on, they just eat it up.
Can I ask you guys a question? is it me or did we witness in real time? Are we witnessing in real time the death of this whole fucking
The way to
movement?
get you to give up your rights and freedoms temporarily for your safety. Now they're going to put a digital ID and try to tie it to everything.
Oh,
Your
digital
bank,
ID.
your internet, your job.
We need a bingo card right about now.
And just like that, just like they want to shut me down, in their new society, I wouldn't be here right now because they could flick a switch and I wouldn't be allowed to travel. I wouldn't be allowed to work. I wouldn't be allowed access to my
Is that a
phone.
British
No,
flag?
What? Wouldn't give me access
It
to
appears
my
to
money.
be, yeah.
I'm going to call them out right now. I showed up there with my passport, my driver's license, my health card, other IDs, including my marriage license with my wife. I had a lawyer on the phone to attest to my identity. And even after all that, they pretended they could not verify me. Even after I gave them the cell phone number, the email, access to email, access these statements. And then they had the audacity to tell me they were going to help me and to chill out. Well, they called the fraud department. Instead, they called the RCMP.
We should do a Chris Guy bingo card, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He plays the fucking QAnon hits. I mean, digital ID, Bill Gates, kids, pizza, pedophilia, digital ID again. They're coming after you. All the same shit. It's just a different fucking day, and it's just a different fucking crowd. And this guy is on borrowed fucking time.
Guess what political parties have representatives at the World Economic Forum? Every single one. So once again,
like a fish flopping on the dock.
The way out of this is called united non-compliance. We're in phase 2, taking action, and we've been taking action.
Yellow vester guy.
Phase 2. Did you hear him say he's in phase 2?
How many phases are there, Chris?
We gotta get to phase 3.
Oh.
And it's hard, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
We gotta do it.
Where do we find the phases?
We got to do it. Oh,
What else should be in there?
Well, you made a bingo card for us. You got freedom. You got
Digital ID. We
Yeah,
got phase 2.
phase 2. Yep.
Your kids are gonna die. Put that
Yeah.
in.
Don't forget about the dead kids.
Your fault.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Kids.
What a tool.
All right, Karima, you can leave now.
Well, then what's stopping them from doing it again?
What else we got?
Cocaine. Dude is so fucking high, it's unbelievable. He's like JoJo the Idiot Circus Kid. I know when he's done a bunch of fucking scoops on the way to the stage, because that's what that is. The guy cannot fucking stop. He is so scooped out, it is unfucking believable. Here, she's back. She's smiling too. She got. Is he still talking? Sorry, we can't hear you. We're having technical problems here. Pop out and pop back in one more time, Karima, and then walk away from the crowd because we don't need to hear any more of that. We've heard the whole thing. But then we'll talk to you so that we can have a better connection because that is
sad.
What it's like it's like the petering out of the entire fucking thing, right? Like that's kind of what we're watching. It dawned on me while we're watching this. I'm like, I've heard this cumsock say the same shit every day for the past 2 fucking years.
Do you mean the petering out of him and his reign? Because I had a feeling today as I was walking home that I feel like I feel like this is only going to get worse.
I feel like so.
No, I think it's losing steam. Especially
Yeah,
now
I
that
think-
the mandates
I think-
have been lifted.
Yeah, the mandates have lifted. I think the percentage of the overall percentage of the people that show up at shit like this is going to dwindle significantly.
Yeah, like I think some of the fog might have lifted from some people since that happened,
Yeah.
and they kind of went from that fucking weird phase to, oh, I guess I can just get back to my normal life now. My wife is still yelling at me, or I can't live in my mom's house forever. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on.
You just
I think
people
you're
that
right,
got
Dean.
vaccinated aren't dead yet.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Dean.
I think I'm missing a line.
Oh, no, Coke. Yeah, we got Coke. We've got. Oh, dude, the bingo card's almost full. You got a bingo all the way across, by the way.
Yeah, I'm missing an entire line.
That's right.
You got put victimhood there because there was this whole thing there about how he.
We're playing for a full card.
Let's catch the end of this movement because I think, folks, what you're witnessing right here is the end of the entire anti-vax Chris Guy business. Watch this.
Sorry, veterans. It's not you either. You know who it is? It's the old school Polish women.
What did he just say?
Something
Old
about
school
Polish
Polish women?
Did he just say it's old school Polish women that are the problem?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
We have liftoff.
That's
is the
you know, that's confirmation.
Oh, hold on.
for me.
I'm adding that. That's the center part. That's the center.
Old school Polish women. Yeah. Like what? Locke, what did we just watch?
I hope it is. I don't know. Listen. There's a case to be made for people being upset about how things are going and our leaders, right? And we've talked about this multiple times, right? Like I think all of us on a certain level are upset about where we're at and the decisions. Like they really boot fucked this whole pandemic. It was a mess. And I know most people are, I think a majority of people are like, I hope they learn their mistakes, right? There was a point where I sort of felt like this might grow, but I think I'm with you now, Dean.
Yeah.
A couple of months back, I thought, you know what, this is gonna continue to snowball. But I don't think so. I think you're right. I think it is dwindling. I think they're starting to see true colors of a lot of these people as well, right? Like the people that get pushed into the forefront of these movements are definitely well, they're fucking crazy. I wonder, like, if you get dragged down to this event, if you get coaxed into it from a friend, or maybe you sympathize with it on some level, whatever it is, and you go down there, are you going to be able to handle everything that Chris Guy is saying? I mean, it's
what did he say? I mean, we heard tidbits, but Karima, you can hear us now, right? We've got a better.
Yeah, I can, and now I got called a Chris Guy hater on my way out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't hear it. Just everybody was staring at you because you're fucking famous.
So I kept hitting the wrong fucking button. So sorry, guys. But anyway, he's talking about communism, which has zero applicability to really anything. Digital ID, sort of, that he's being persecuted by the state, which, I don't know. I suppose it's possible, but hard to have a lot of sympathy for the guy. There was nothing of value, actually. So despite me cutting in and out, really you missed nothing. And in fact, you might piece together a better sort of message given the absences.
How many times, thank you. How many times have you seen him speak, and how much of that was just all recycled bullshit? Same bullshit.
Same old bullshit. I'm actually surprised that he's drawn sort of, mind you, they're not all here to see him. They're here for all of the speeches, and, his is now. But there were chants of "We Love Chris." I saw one guy, at least, in a Chris Guy for Prime Minister shirt. So I guess Pierre Poilievre has called competition in that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe people have forgotten that he's a colossal asshole. I'm not sure.
That's kind of it.
Keep an eye
I think
on
today was a good
He's
reminder.
going to be in Toronto next weekend, which happens to be my birthday and Mother's Day. So just all the great things are coalescing into one.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday. Before that, can't wait to see him come back to Toronto. But we were just talking about it. This is like, it's almost like we got real jacked up for this day, and I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't. I wasn't hoping that we would have a repeat of the Flu Trucks Clan bullshit. But does it not feel like we're witnessing the downfall, the petering out, or the inability to stay with it with this group? Like, very few people there. The crowd seems to be in a more kind of a picnic, summer kind of let's hang out mood. But it's the same actors and the same people saying the same shit, right?
Sure. Do you want it for the camera? We're on live stream. Freedom.
Thank you.
Probably people who just talk shit about freedom.
She's high as fuck.
Ask her.
Okay.
Ask her about freedom.
Thank you.
Oh.
How high was she? How high was she?
Okay, so I don't know. I don't want to make any pronouncements about sort of the petering out of the movement because this is not an insignificant crowd. And it's like diehards who I keep seeing over and over, plus people I've never seen before. So like, what does this mean? I think that we're too close to actually say, but I do think that there is a segment of Canadians who are sympathetic towards this message and just wouldn't show up to this kind of event, but are susceptible, I think, to the messaging, even though that messaging is crap. So like, we got to be vigilant, and I think, you know, it's premature to celebrate kind of the end of anything. Oh, here's the Jesus person. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's have a chat. Oh yeah, can you ask him what that's all about?
Well, it's a yogurt ad for Liberté yogurt.
You know what? It might not be a cross. I think it's just a T. I thought it was because it's a little bear attached to it. So I might.
They're crucifying bears.
It's a Jesus bear.
It's a bear.
Well, listen, go ahead.
Nailed to the cross. I just said, is that a bear nailed to the cross?
Yeah, probably. It's the world's most thoughtless bear. Listen, thank you, Karima. I don't want to keep you for the rest of the day. You spend an hour with us, kind of take us around the city again and showing us the sights and sounds. As you can see, there isn't a whole lot going on, but I will say this. I think that's a good thing. You know, I think that you know, obviously you get the same people, but Karima, what you've done, again, shown us that there's really not a whole lot to be afraid of, but you've also said, hey, these are the same actors. But you've also taken us inside this what no one else is doing, right? So we really appreciate you doing this. Follow Karima at Karima Rules. Thanks, sister. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here, sort of. Thank you.
Yeah. Go get high now. Go smoke a bowl if you can. Bye-bye.
So appreciate her. She's so
isn't
good.
she awesome?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Fucking wild, eh? Like, and it's not like I didn't know what to expect. I kind of thought you might get some. I kind of saw a fight. I was kind of excited about that.
Yeah, not to question your thought on it petering out, but I still think that, like, I agree with Karima that I think there was still like a lot of people there. It was still like a lot of people that showed up today, and to like see the crowd and see how many of them were chanting and waving flags, and they're, you know, it was still just a lot to see. Right. It was still like to see it in person is a lot, to be like, oh no, there's this many people who drove here and showed up, right, for this.
I think what Dean was meaning about petering out, like, you look at the number of people that attended minus 15 degrees outside, in contrast to today where it's 18 degrees and sunny. I think it's the fervor is petering out. I think the rage is petering out. I think it's it's now it's become a spectacle.
We're left with this sort of over concentration of dumb.
Yeah.
Right, like this is the group that is too stupid to realize that that the message that they're getting is wrong, and that they might be on the wrong side of things. Like, you're just not. This is the group that you're not going to fix. There was some fringe stuff there. People got sucked into it. They got excited. They were upset that they got locked in their house, or they lost their job because they wouldn't get vaccinated. So they get kicked off Facebook or something because they shared something they weren't supposed to. That now we're dealing with the hardcores, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
And they are hardcore, because I saw a woman today, you know, there's a bunch of t-shirts that say like fringe minority, right? But there was one today I saw that stood out to me for some reason, but it was like gold foiled, like fringe minority in this like calligraphy. I'm like, you put so much effort into it, right? There's like so much effort put into this, like, into like labeling yourself with this sweatshirt, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the effort that the victim industry goes through to get people to feel sorry for them. Like, fuck, dude, I've been loading assets into this computer all day, like to play these videos for everybody. But like, if you go through each one of these videos or each one of these pictures, you get the same basic tenet, right? Which is like, these people are all victims, right? This person that's heading to Ottawa, small fringe minority, to your point. Fuck Trudeau, and if you like Trudeau, fuck you too. I can't go over how many people want to fuck Trudeau too. That's the amazing part. And then you've got these people again. You got fringe on top of the fucking coat, or on top of the truck, not the coat. Woo, brain part. You got a fringe flag on top of it, and so it's like, it's everywhere. These people are telling everybody with this cabin in the back, like, stand on guard for thee. We're all in the same boat. Everybody pretends they're a victim, and they're trying to tell everybody that, the rest of the free world, right? The rest of the free world, the rest of Canada, they're trying to tell us that they're fighting for us. And we're like, dude, we moved on with our lives and we're figuring shit out and we're good. Like, you don't need to, tell everybody that you're doing this for all of Canada, because we're a lot smarter than you. So we kind of understand that we don't have to pretend to be victims to get attention, or to have someone pay our bills, or to have. I just
don't understand. The thing that I can't fucking wrap my head around is, okay, what happened in the last 2 years that has got you to a point where you think that this country is so fucking evil that we're on some sort of communist path? Like, I don't understand how they made that leap. Like, I get being mad at the government. I get being mad that you lost your job. I get all that. I understand maybe you're even vaccine hesitant. I can even wrap my head around it, but we're on our way to a communist country. You've lost all your fucking freedoms, and it's going to continue to get. I don't understand how they get there. You're driving to Ottawa in a $50,000 fucking truck, you idiot.
Yeah. I did a little research today. By research, I mean Twitter. Locke, you'll love this. The Freedom Index. This is Freedom House, is the index of the freest countries in the world. This is kind of one of the definitive agencies that tells you, hey, who lives the freest, liberty, freedom of speech, quality of life, that stuff. Canada scored 98 out of 100. That's the number one freest country in the entire world, if you just needed a little fucking pick-me-up. And while that's going on, our friend Alex is literally feeding babies and getting them diapers in bomb shelters in Kyiv. While that's going on over here, these cocksuckers seem to think that they're not free. That looks pretty free to me.
A little too free, if you ask me. A little too
guy
free.
in his thong in the middle of the street wearing nothing but a smile and a pair of sunglasses.
And I'm not mad at this guy.
And I support him. I think it's great that he can walk around. This is about as free as it gets. You try and do this in like Beijing. Try and walk down the street.
That's
this
the other
Beijing.
thing too.
He would get.
Oh my gosh!
There you go. There's the balls again. There's his balls.
Can you imagine? That guy would be a bleeding, a pile of pulp in China.
Right.
That's what I mean.
If he decided he wanted to express his freedom on a trip to Beijing and he walked around like this,
beat him with sticks. They would beat him. They would probably beat him every day for like a month for doing that once.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy that we live in a world with these people that right? Like, come on.
Dude, I know.
See, we're oppressing Marianne now. We're infringing on her freedoms.
Dude,
I'm just trying to be on the show and be a nice contributor, and you're just throwing up this guy's
sideball
sack in front of my face. And like,
sorry, I didn't mean to. Dude, Locke, you know, one of the things that really pissed me off because I was watching it over the past couple of days is the taunting of cops. Have you seen some of this stuff? And I'll give these fucking police some credit. You can tell why they wouldn't want to get in there in February, back when this stuff was all hot. But watch it.
That's how it works. You want to turn?
By the way, the guy who's yelling at this cop is the owner of Peter Burgers. He's a virulent, racist piece of shit. Treats Caryma terribly. Got a ticket for showing up and parking his car in the wrong spot. So what does he do? Goes after the cop. You got to listen to it, though. It's like, if I put myself in this cop's boots, There's no way I'm this calm.
You keep pushing. You want to deal with us? Deal with
Because you guys should have gave your tickets and fucked off.
Oh, no.
Tell me to relax, sweetheart.
You're the one with the issue with me, and now you're telling us.
It's the difference between us and you. We're not going to relax. We're going to fight for what we believe, and we'll die on our hill.
Good.
Yeah, honey, we're okay, princess. We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Sweetheart, princess, very effeminate, like basically saying the guy's gay. It's just it's an old trope that rednecks like to draw out every once in a while, well, all the time because they're void of brains.
Oh no, I'm not angry. I'm just sick of fucking bitches like you. That's all. That's all. I'm not angry. Agitated? I swear it's called vocabulary.
He's trying to build.
Vocabulary lessons from rednecks always goes great.
I understand you take the aggression out on your hair, but
I'm sorry.
so what's such a little princess? It's hilarious. Yeah, it'll be okay.
So what
it will because we're gonna.
They're swarming these cops. They're insulting this guy, and they're calling him a princess and beautiful and gorgeous. Because they got a ticket for illegally parking, and the guy's just the cops like, yeah, fuck, keep it up, doesn't matter. Because when I get you around the corner, I'm gonna put this billy club in your asshole.
We're gonna get what we want.
Why are you smiling like as if you got control of everything? You don't. Stop.
Yes, I do.
He has a gun and he has total control of everything. Yes, thank you, Marianne.
You have control in February, and we're letting you have control now.
I'll say what I want. Freedom of speech. I have that choice, and you can't tell me not to. They hate us all the time because we shoot them.
We said
shoot him. Does that video end with a shooting?
We said tasers, and now you've
shoot
escalated to a shooting.
No, I want that. I need that. Someone shoot him. Shut up.
Like, seriously, imagine pulling this shit in North Korea or in China to a cop on the street.
Do it in the States.
You'd never see the guy again.
Oh,
no, white people will get away with it. That's
do
fine,
that in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, try a black dude down in
be
Alabama.
8 cops
to a cop.
on you, beating you senseless.
Yeah, no.
Well, go ahead, Marianne. What were you saying?
I was just say thank you for playing that because this is a real thought I had earlier today. I was going across the street, but it was a red light, and there was cops all around. I had a moment of like, what if I jaywalk? And like, what if I get a ticket? And then I see this guy, right? Then I see this guy screaming at the cops, and right. So it's just right. Like that's like I think that's the disconnect between normal human beings and these people.
Oh yeah, they're like, I'm fucking petrified. If a cop told me to move, I'd be like, no problem, sir. Absolutely, totally understand it, because I don't want to fucking make my day any longer or more painful than it has to be. That and to want to do that doesn't make you smart, just makes you a dumb fuck. More taunting of the cops, absolutely. Watch this lineup. Lock. Sorry, because I know you're gonna get triggered, but I gotta play it.
A paycheck, right? Trampling on citizens. You stand up and do what's right. Somebody here will help us. We've lost our jobs. We've lost everything. People lost everything coming to fight for you.
Just so you know, he's saying we lost everything. I don't have a paycheck. I got nothing, and that's what this whole thing's all about anyway.
You beat the shit out of them, right? And you kept your paycheck.
It's your job. You did that.
Doesn't look like he's missed too many meals.
You lost your job. One of us will do anything we can to take care of you and your family, because that's what we represent. We represent community. We represent unity, love, respect,
Did you ever graduate from high school?
and freedom.
You have to wear a
Somebody's talking about graduating from high school. Dude, like, what the fuck is going on?
How awesome is that? Marianne, how awesome is that? Like, if you wonder why cops at the end of these days are grabbing guys and throwing them head first through Burger Kings, that's probably why.
All I can think about is like what they are thinking. And what's interesting is I saw like the lineup, you see the lineup of these cops and they're like fully armed and they're not making any eye contact with anyone, right? So like I wonder if they just completely zone out in their own little head and they have like these songs. Like I wonder what's going through their heads, or if they're actually paying attention or getting angry, or right? So because the fact to be able to...
They're probably just sitting there thinking of show tunes. That's what I do when I'm like super triggered and I want to punch someone that's standing in front of me. I'm like, I have to. It didn't happen, dude. Watch this lady push a cop.
Oh,
this is like this. We'll do it from the beginning. See, fucking, this is big craziness. Like how size this cop and how small that woman is. She pushes him, he pushes her, and then it's fucking on, dude.
That's from that tweet I sent you.
okay. Yeah.
There's Rob Primo, by the way. That guy right here, it says for your health. This guy who weighs about 450 and he's about 5'3". He's an anti-vaxxer, so I don't know if you want to listen to him when it comes to matters of your health. But anyway, watch this. Pushes the cop. Cop then's like, yeah, here we go, lady. Get on the ground. You need some fucking cuffs.
Here's your freedom.
Whoa! Boom!
But he won't
and the
drop
guy
his
didn't
phone
drop
or
his
smoke.
This is just gross.
Yeah,
Just
and you know,
gross.
are you watching all the hands on the cop? So
Completely
the cop is
unnecessary.
being assaulted after the cop gets assaulted. So like this is also like, I know we were waxing about how goofy the picnic was and all the crazy bullshit, and it was coming to an end and it's kind of petering out.
Is she
This
on
shit's
roller
still going
skates?
on. Is she on roller skates? Is that what you said?
Somebody said that in the comments. It's just stupid.
But now
Yeah,
watch,
Oh, she is. Look, there they are.
Oh, yeah, she's on rollerblades.
Oh my God, she's on
Oh my
plates.
Yeah, that's right. So now everybody goes after the cop, and the cop has to get out for his own safety. Like it's a full-on swarm. And there, I don't know if you noticed this, dude. This is incredible. Did you see the guy with the fucking guitar on his back, the Gibson? He's like, "Whoa, guys, I'm just here to play a little guitar."
Guys, I got some James Taylor. I'll bring this down a bit.
Yeah, we'll do some Sweet Baby James at around 7:30. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's it's.
Can you
all
back it
around
up to the? Can we watch that again? But
She's
like,
actually wanted by OPP or
So
the
do-
Ottawa Police right now.
Yeah.
Good.
Bro, she assaulted a fucking cop.
Well, that's the tweet I sent you was from the Ottawa Police Department. Is actually them for a call to action for people to identify her. For
oh,
assaulting police.
she got away.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, dude,
I
did you
didn't
see
know that.
they swarmed the cop, dude. That happened
I
last
didn't know
night.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. I know it happened last night. I didn't realize that she got away
Yeah.
though. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I mean, like, this shit is still going on. And this was the shit that didn't happen the first time because the police were not moderating behavior. They were told to not moderate behavior, right? So now they're moderating the behavior of people. There's a full understanding that if you touch a police officer, that police officer will whoop that ass. Yeah, Ottawa police are looking for her right now, actually.
Can we talk about last night really quickly about
Sure.
how they were like there were cars and trucks and like that transport, like they were like parked on Rideau Street last night. Like they were actually able to like park there and party, and there's a guy waving the flag. Like obviously police came in and they smashed the
Cleared
truck.
them all out.
They cleared them out. But like I don't understand how they were even allowed down there. Like I don't understand how that even happened, how they're able to like rest there. I don't know what,
Because there
what
was
led to that.
blockades set up, right? For that
Yeah.
street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
they
yeah.
were
And the signs have been all over the city for over a week, Marianne. You can confirm that they've been saying, "Don't park here, guys. You're going to get towed." You know, like they gave
gonna go
them fair
retweet that.
warning to stay the fuck out. So,
And I saw a few tweets of people being like, "This is what should have happened the first time," right? But I don't know. I think it's too late to look to look back at this point.
Oh yeah, hindsight's not 2020. It's just ass kicking season. And this
Did you,
woman was wanted
did you
by
just
the police.
retweet that?
I will.
Dean?
I'll do it right now.
I
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah,
in
and
the
then I'll
DM.
go in and retweet it from yours.
Oh, it's in our DMs. It's Lynn's put it in our DMs.
Yeah, she may have already been arrested because Ottawa Police has actually deleted this tweet since I sent it to you.
Oh,
But,
okay. Then we
so
don't need
that-
to. We don't
No,
need to
she
bother.
may have been. That might be why they took it down because they've already gotten her. So, but it's there. I just noticed that they took it down. So
It's just
I'm
all
wondering why.
pointless. It's so.
Rob in the
I
comments
hate
says
watching
she's been
this
identified.
shit.
Why do you
Right?
hate it?
Like
I
I-
fucking love it. You don't like
I
watching
hate
this
it.
stuff?
No, because it's just all bullshit. It's just these people are down there for they're fucking morons. They're causing. It's just fucking stupid. It's just all of it. It's fucking
They're
stupid.
misled. They've been misled for 2 years, Locke, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, we can laugh and whatever.
Doesn't it
but
bother
I think
you?
it's-
Does
it-
shit
it-
like
that
that
part
bother you
does.
guys? like I
That part does,
it bothered you-
but my enjoyment overrides my botherment here because watching people become victims of their own stupidity is actually that's Schadenfreude fucking 1.0 for me. Like that makes
These are
that
natural
makes me-
consequences. That's kind of how I look at it. Like,
Yeah.
we can't stop this. We are ingesting it like everybody else. These are natural consequences that people are going through. They are ruining their lives on a daily basis. You saw hundreds of people that don't have bank accounts from the last one. You got entire trucking trucking companies that went tits up. Guys lost their lives. People went to jail. Pat King is still in jail. Dude, he can hear the echoes and the cries for freedom from his fucking cell right now. Like, these people are just, it is literally, and we say this all the time, but this is shit-eating season, right? This is, and these people are the absolute hardcores, or maybe some, new woke people who feel like, fuck, I finally figured it out, because they just can't figure out how to do life, so they just kind of default into this thing. But these are the last gasps of the dumbest people in Canada going through what is probably the worst time in human history for them, while everybody else seems to be able to be fucking totally okay with just getting on with life and making things happen and being a good citizen, taking our pandemic lumps, losing our jobs, and instead of blaming the government, we just go find other ones, or we create a real existence that actually matters, instead of blaming everybody around us and saying, hey, listen, my life sucks because of you. Where the fuck did that start? Let's be serious for a second. Where the fuck did your well-being have to do with anything in the government's hands at the moment? Unless you've got an autistic child, or you have government programs that are keeping you and your family alive. At what point is Justin Trudeau being the prime minister trigger you enough that you have to drive across the country to take a dump next to the war memorial and camp out in a fucking ditch and act like a fucking lunatic and get yourself arrested because what? Why? Why are you doing it? And I'll tell you why they're doing it. They're doing it because they are the victim class. It is in them. They can't get out of it.
Yeah.
They don't care to get out of it. And the other part of this is that a lot of them don't even understand how fucking life works. Like, a lot of these people have cognitive delays. You've got different things that feed into it. But the bottom line is, this is the wants crowd, right? They didn't get what they want. They didn't get what they wanted. And so, because no one will give it to them, not that they have to fucking do any work and understand it themselves, because no one will give it to them, they're angry. And that's what they're there for. This is, and always will be, a religious temper tantrum. That's all it is, of a bunch of people that can't do life. They were victimized, had hard times. Well, guess what? We all fucking have. And we're here making our lives better while you're there legitimately making your lives worse, immeasurably worse by the moments, because they can't fucking figure it out. They don't have the mind to do it. They don't have the brain to do it. They don't have the smarts to do it. Some people are fucking knee deep in religion. Some people are pissed off because they lost their jobs. Everybody has something that they want there that they can't control, and that's what they're pissed off about, is that they can't control their wants being met, and they don't give a fuck about their needs, right? They fucking drove across the country to act like assholes. Who needs to do that? Nobody.
Well, and we've talked about this before too, but I think a lot of these individuals fall into this category of people. Everyone works with somebody or has somebody in their family that they wake up every day and they're just miserable.
Yeah.
They're just we call them Eeyores.
Eeyores. Yeah, from
Eeyore.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, we got a couple of them in our workplace, right? And I remember I asked Grant, because we talked about the Eeyores on the air a couple weeks back, and I said to Grant, I said, do you think that so-and-so, when we got off the air, because everyone in the building knows who we're talking about, except the guy we're talking about, is unaware of the fact that we all call him Eeyore, because it's just like, oh, how you doing today? And I'm like, I said to Grant, I said, do you think he knows that he's like this? That he's a miserable sack of shit, and that when he walks into a room, he sucks the life out of the room.
Yeah.
And I have literally told him to leave. Like, I've literally said this to him. I don't want your energy in here. I have to do a show. You need to get out of the room so that I can actually do a show without the oppressive nature that you bring into the... has no idea. And the thing is, all of these people have the ability to change that. You just got to get up and go, today's going to be a good day.
I get
Today,
to choose
I'm
my
not
attitude.
going to be a miserable sack of shit. I'm not going to focus on the negative all the time. I am going to take the day and I'm going to do what I can with it to make it a positive experience.
I'm gonna enroll in college. I'm gonna take a night course.
Read about.
I'm gonna study astronomy.
You always have control of how your day ends up. You do. You have that. If you have drama in your life, if you're a miserable sack of shit, it's on you.
Yeah.
Nobody else's fault. It's you.
But
and
here's
if you
what
have
say,
the inability to be aware of the fact that it is all you, then you have a fucking problem, and you're probably down there protesting. And I bet you 90% of those turds are those people in the workplace that everyone goes, oh fuck, I hope that fucking asshole isn't coming to work today. Oh, he's not here today. We're gonna have a better day,
dude. I've been out of the office for 2 years, right? So we just went back, and that was literally like it was nice to think, oh, I get to see some people I do like in my office, and there's literally one person that brought that entire thing down, and my mind was like, oh fuck, they're gonna be there. And that's exactly what it is. It's because they're just as I'm gonna take Dean's saying, they are the fucking human rain delay. They are a human fucking rain delay, and that's what it is. It's like just their aura inside of your little bubble of people in the office. And as soon as they show up, it's like,
yeah, dude, it's the same person. It's the same person. And I can go back to the same person. And I will tell you this from experience that I was one of those guys where it's like, how can I act in a way? And I'm happy to tell you that I was like that from time to time to try and get what I want. It's this manipulative fucking tactic that a lot of people use. It's like how can I make everybody around me feel guilty or sorry for me so that I can have an easier time trying to get from A to B? Right? Because sympathy is a great fucking empathy move for a lot of people. And that's why people pretend to be sick. That's why people pretend to have problems. That's why people talk about problems, to be honest with you. I would never burden anybody in this group. And I think I know you all individually enough to the point that you know I do not burden anybody with conversations about any part of my life that is difficult. I do not talk poorly about people. I don't shit on people. I don't do those things because those people have nothing to do with me fulfilling my life's destiny of being a fucking happy individual. I'm the only person that can do it. Those people think that it's everybody else's responsibility. And then when they act like an asshole, they say, I can't believe you're coming down on me for being a professional victim. This should be allowed as an alternative experience and thought process. It isn't. You're just a cock. You're just one of those fucking miserable douchers that walks around, as Lachlan has aptly pointed out, like Eeyore. The government's never going to look at the... And here's the thing. They use that as an excuse to not be a motivated individual. All of them do. You're like, why even bother? The government's just going to... Why even bother? This guy's just going to... Why even bother? I'm not allowed to... That is it, man. Like, it is legitimately interference that they're running on behalf of themselves because they know deep down they are fucking frauds, man. All of them.
License. Yeah, giving themselves license. And I said it right from the beginning. They need to... This is, if anything, this was a clear, indicative, fucking shining light to like just project the problem of mental health in this country, where access to, you know, if you are feeling down all the time, maybe it's a problem. Maybe you should call somebody. Maybe you should, and we don't offer that. And I think, I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but I think we are dealing with a lot of, if anything, it'd be the organizers and the loudest might be suffering from some things, and they're projecting it onto people who are susceptible and they're vulnerable because, yeah, you know what? The last 2 years has fucking sucked. We all can agree on that. Mm-hmm. But these fucking guys are just, they're next level.
They don't think it's sucked for anybody else but
just them. Yeah.
That's the amazing part.
That's the victim complex.
Right. And there are people out there, though, Linz, that if they're aware that they're in a rut, if they've got some form of depression or anxiety, a lot of people, and that's different than the Eeyore. Like the whole world's against me. I'm gonna wake up today and I'm gonna find something to be upset about. And then when I do, that's who I'm going to focus my negative energy on. The depression, the anxiety, the mental health issue that you're bringing up. Yeah, I think that plays a part in it. sometimes. But most people that are suffering from that, I think, are aware of the impact that they're having on other people, and they don't want to be doing that. They want it to change. They need it to change, and they might be looking for some help. And that could be counseling, that could be a medication. I think the people that I'm talking about are this victim class that Dean is talking about. I have literally told people that they're these people, and they can't hear it. You can see. There's the guy at work that I am referring to that sucks the life out of the room. I have told that he's a miserable sack of shit to his face, that he is this person, and that we all dread having him around.
That emboldens,
and he turns it around immediately on you.
Yeah.
Right? And that
you did this to me. Yeah. Does any of this, like, did you see? Yeah, did you, like, is that not, Marianne? I haven't been there. You were there this afternoon for a few hours, but like, is that not a common theme among those people that you hear them?
Victimhood?
Yeah.
I think so. When Karima mentioned like the 5 to 10% that were very confrontational, right? Like occasionally you would see them and they'd be like screaming at the cops, right? And like that, so it's like those fringe of the fringe are the ones that are like super aggressive and are just reeking of victimhood. It's just the way that they talk and the way that they blame and the way that they project, right? The way they project their energy, the way they project on other people. It just reeks of victimhood.
And privilege, a lot of privilege, like a lot of
and a lack of self-awareness. Like,
or even situational awareness. Like imagine, like I put a tweet out this morning of Rex Murphy complaining about the Indigenous protests, saying that these protests, people like this that should be illegal, and these are not lawful protests, and they should be treated as such. And it's like I don't see Rex out here talking about what's going on in the last couple of months in Ottawa. It's a lot of playing, and they get, like I say, they get emboldened by that side that uses it as a crutch or as a tool, like Paul Levay or whatever, for political gain, and it gives them license, and nobody's like, do you think? And as much as we fucking think he's an idiot, do you think Trudeau is doing the right thing by staying mum all the time on this in the beginning of them, or should he be out there calling them fucking idiots? What do you guys think?
What do you mean?
Do you think he's doing the right thing by not addressing it and not saying, hey,
why
get
would
the
he?
fuck out
I
of
mean,
the city?
dude, like, if I didn't have to be here, I wouldn't be here either. I mean, this is for us. This is like really great to watch. Great content, good for clicks, fun to talk about. It's what we do. We bring people, information and video and real experiences. So I'm happy to do this. But like, these people aren't worth a conversation. None of them are, because they're not. Yeah. We still don't even know why they're there. I mean, veterans, kids, pedophiles, digital ID. You just heard Chris Guy. That was the keynote speaker, by the way. Fuck Stick was the keynote speaker. Fuck Stick McGee, talking about IDs and like digital this and cocaine and meth and his wife and the butt implants and all this stuff.
Old school Polish women.
Yeah.
Did you see that David tweet?
Is that what
can't be true?
What's that? No way.
I don't think can I say something? That can't be true. Can I say something about Trudeau? I think on it. No.
I like how
I'm gonna play it up. David Thompson, like Pat King, passed away from COVID in Ottawa prison last night. I was like,
that's not right.
We would have heard about it already.
Yeah, of course we would have.
Yeah, there's no way.
Just so you guys know, we have people that actually work in the jail that he is in that talk to us on a regular basis. That's how we get our Pat King updates.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's the thing. I think you can do a lot of explaining away of your part in anything, and I think politicians are really good at that. Politicians, if you're not that type of personality, you're not going to be drawn to that industry, and you're not going to be successful in it. Like Dean and I, we could probably have a conversation, a similar conversation about the type of personalities you need to have to be successful in radio. And one thing I've said to radio people, if you have a thin skin, go find something else to do. if you are mortified by any kind of backlash or you can't accept criticism, you need to find something else to do. It's not the career for you.
No.
And I think politicians have to like the smell of their own shit. They really, really do. And if you're not that type of person, then you're going to have problems running a party and getting to a certain level in politics. And Trudeau definitely has that. But I think Trudeau's not a dumb man. I think he has actually done more in the last 6 months. He's done a lot of things well and right in response to what's happening. I'd be curious to sit and have a conversation, legitimately sit and have a conversation with him and go, listen, you are the most hated politician of all time. We can't think of anybody that's hated a politician more than you.
Enough about my opinion now.
So do you think that you did something wrong? Like, what do you think your involvement is in that? And I'd be very interested.
What do you mean in the overall issues that we have?
Overall,
like in the overall feeling of hatred in this country?
Broad strokes. How do you think your role and how you've done your job played a part in the fact that you are the most hated politician we may have ever had in this country? Right? Okay. And then I'd like to see if he legitimately has done some things because of that. Like, he has taken a major step back. He has not addressed these protests publicly much at all.
No.
He has really, really taken a step back. Smartest fucking thing he could have done.
Yeah.
The only thing that I regret, I wish that he would have done, and he should do it here too, and I would have total respect for this, is stepping out on the steps of the ledge with a megaphone and yelling, "Get off my lawn."
Fuckers.
Like, that's the only thing that he can do in this situation. And the fact somebody has told him to do what he's doing right now, to handle this the way he's handling it.
Yeah.
You know what he did? The smartest thing he did is he turned to the 3 smartest women that were working underneath him. And this is a nod to female leadership. We need more of it. Mm-hmm. And we feel a whole lot more secure as a result because he's taken him basically self out of the day-to-day, and he's just dealing with kind of these things and going overseas and leading the fucking charge. But he's allowing, real, strong, smart, educated, by the way, Christian Freeland. Christian Freeland has a Harvard degree. I think she's got an Oxford degree. She knows 7 languages. Justin Trudeau's a fucking drama teacher. Why the fuck doesn't he just hand her the reins? My God. Like, seriously, that's the problem that we have with him, is that he's more interested in the fun and the parties and the people and the galas and the being a head of state than he is with actually doing the day-to-day. And I'll tell you this, he's woefully ill-equipped because he's a fucking drama teacher. He's been doing it now for the past several years, but he's been doing it on the backs and the strengths of, I truly believe, some of Canada's smartest women.
Yeah.
And I think that they deserve all the credit. Like, Locke, I think it's great that you're softening your stance on your fuck Trudeau thing. But I think these women deserve all the credit. And I think we need to highlight that a whole bunch as opposed to just saying he's taken a step back. It's been part of that, but he's also surrounded by incredibly bright, well-educated, motivated, totally fucking boss women. So let's fucking give it for the ladies a little bit too, right?
We're going to,
but I think the reason, I think he should get some credit for how he's handled this.
Yeah.
No,
well,
I hate the man.
Just stop.
Now, hang on. You just said something very nice about him at the beginning of your first preamble there. It was, and I give you credit for that. Good for you. You're moving along. But what, to your point, Dean, imagine he went up and said one day, just like, okay, everybody, I hear you. You don't fucking like me. I'm not doing a great job. I'm out. And then all these freedom fighters would be like, oh, they'll be like getting their hands up ready to cheer. And he's like, and now here's Christian Freeland, a lady who's going to take the job. And they'll be like, oh, come right back down. Because if it's not a straight white man, they're not fucking having it. So
I was I was gonna ask if you think if he happened to step down, if he decided like this isn't gonna happen, but if he decided to like pass on the torch, like yeah, are these people just gonna go away? Like what? I don't know. I think this protest is or whatever this is this weekend. I don't know. It is a picnic. I think it's proven that that it doesn't really matter if there's a reason to yell and scream and be an asshole, right? So I feel like even if that was to happen, I still feel like our society is a bit broken right now, and that they're still going to be.
I got a question for you. Trudeau's not the leader. We have somebody that we actually respect, and everybody in the country, not everybody in the country, but we actually voted somebody in that's been doing a good job to handle the pandemic well. That doesn't virtue signal, that doesn't do all these things that JT does that drives us crazy. Doesn't do weird dances in India or like,
doesn't embarrass us.
Doesn't embarrass. Not embarrassing.
Have you seen the fucking political landscape? They're all embarrassments.
Okay, Dean.
Pierre's a fucking pigeon.
This is a hypothetical situation where we're putting somebody in that seat that's not all of these things.
All right.
Do you think we're here right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I really do too.
I don't.
No chance everyone's going to agree.
This was just a petri dish for development of the victim class, and they will look for any fucking reason to blame somebody else.
I think you're wrong.
What's going on?
I don't
Justin
think so. Trudeau is a big part of the reason why all this shit's happening.
Did he really handle the pandemic horribly though, Locke? I know he's a virtue signaler, but let's everything else about Justin Trudeau aside. Did Canada fare well during the pandemic?
I think we made critical errors in messaging, in how timing of things. I think we did a lot of things wrong.
You're talking about hang on. It is. I find it very difficult to have this conversation, and with all due respect to both of you guys, I'm so fucking tired of talking about the pandemic, and I don't give a fuck about politics. And putting both of those things in the same conversation grosses me out. And by and large, we also have an issue because we can't qualify it because this provincial thing, like Locke's in Alberta, their approach was different. Fucking Kenny was terrible. Doug Ford's a fucking asshole. I mean, and again, going back and having these hypotheticals doesn't do a whole lot for me. Like we'll sit here and go through it and go, yes, no, maybe so. And we'll probably get angry. And then this guy's going to say, and it's not that I want to avoid conflict because I fucking love it. And I love putting it on television and I love listening to it on podcasts. But I will say that I think that we have way less of a problem after what I saw today. And I think that we have also a lot more on the ball when it comes to trying to come into the middle. And I think watching this whole fucking thing start to fizzle, sure, did we see some of the degeneracy? I think what we did was we labeled this properly today, right? And let me just finish kind of explaining that. We labeled this properly in terms of what is happening. And we left aside religious groups a little bit. Did I make fun of Jesus? Yeah, but I like doing that.
We do that every day.
We left rednecks out of it by and large. I only used the word hillbilly a couple of times. Cognitive delays, like, those individual reasons each individual person might have fed into the cauldron of stupidity, right? So, but we've really identified the issue. And the issue is is that this is a crowd of unserious, childish individuals who didn't get what they wanted in one or four more disciplines of their life. And and they don't have the skills to do it for themselves. They're professional victims. And they've been taught to be that by religion, by parents, by familial living, all the different things that have gone into you not wanting to actually go out and get counseling, see the world objectively, go get a fucking job instead of blaming Trudeau or everybody else because you can't get what you want. We just talked about that today, right? And then there's the mental illness portion, which lives among all of us in some capacity. So I don't want to go down that road. But by and large, these people are just emotionally stunted and emotionally detached people that are not smart enough to navigate life like an adult. That's what we talked about today. And listen, that's not going to change, right?
And we're coming out of it, so the numbers are going down, right? Like we're getting back to...
What they're not seeing is this isn't a Trudeau thing. per capita, when you look at deaths, you look at people that were saved by like things like CERB programs like that. I'm not talking like Trudeau. I'm talking about provincial. Yeah, we fucked up a lot of stuff, like you said, Locke, with messaging. Per capita, our country fucking excelled at a pandemic. And nobody in that fucking field out front of a statue screaming right now can realize that you want to talk about unity? We came together as a country during this. Yeah. The majority of us came together with vaccination. Yes, we have one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, Lachlan. Yeah. One of the lowest death per capita rates in the world, Lachlan. We came together as a country. The loudest fucking idiots were projected on a fucking TV screen in front of us. I'm pissed off at them for shitting on our country, not for shitting on Trudeau. It's our country. We fucking did this. Yeah. They're embarrassments to our country because the world watches them. They don't watch us. They watch them.
They sent Fox here,
That's data.
Fox
That's
News
facts.
here to broadcast to the world how many idiots we had in Ottawa one weekend. That was embarrassing.
You know what? The problem in the US, we were an embarrassment for sure.
Yeah.
The problem I have, Marianne, go.
All I said was, other than the U.S., yes, we were an international embarrassment.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm confirming that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had our moment for sure, and that's what and I'm not even angry about that because I'm like, oh, I know what went into that. That was just an effort to fucking justify theocratic assholes and all the shit that they did. Sorry, Locke, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. I again, I know we're trying to avoid the political. The political side of it, but I think the mistakes we made aren't about the vaccines and getting out of it. I'm talking about the fact that it became so political, that our focus was this. And I'm suggesting, Ryan, that we focused on that so much that became the narrative, not what you said.
You're right. We lost focus of it. Because it wasn't flashing. It wasn't fun to watch.
We should have been promoting that. Yeah. We should have been hitting that. We should have been saying all these things, and we didn't. Right. We got lost in this, and that's the problem I have with, and that's why I'm blaming how the messaging was, and I'm blaming the politics of it.
You blaming me? You're blaming Dean. That's what I blame Dean for.
No, I'm actually just really stoked that they were smashing windows last night. I got a lot of shows right out of that.
So were the
windows,
Ottawa
people being
residents
thrown to the ground?
They went and smashed out windows of the cars that were parked?
The police were. The police, the police. I'm just glad things were actually being done this time. Honestly, and seeing that and I feel like a terrible person for getting so much joy out of it. But actually seeing stuff getting done was I was sending videos to and from, my friends and I were just sending each other videos, and we're the drool emojis, and we're like, yes, this is the best.
Can you imagine if they would have followed suit from what happened in February?
No.
There was no other way of handling this.
No.
Marianne, there was no other way. They had
to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, look at the changes that have happened in Ottawa. I mean, I'm not even there, and I know that there's a mayor that's never going to recover from this. There's a police chief that God knows what he's going to do next.
He's out.
That whole thing in February destroyed how many careers?
Mm-hmm. The entire police services board.
Yeah.
Steve Bell, the new interim police chief, hopefully becomes the full. Who knows how that works? So now there's almost an entire new police services board. Well, even Jim Watson, the mayor, he's not that he's out, but he's retiring anyway. He's leaving, he doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah.
But his entire reign has been ruined from this the last few months.
No legacy now.
Yeah, that's the fun part is that it changed so many lives last time that there's a selfish tinge to this where the police, the Steve Bell, the guy who's running for the chief's job now, politicians, people serving now on the police board, they're like, we can't fuck this up. Otherwise, we're never going to work again, and we're going to have to spruce up our resumes and go work at a big box store and tell people where the paintbrushes are. That's a legitimate fucking thought in the heads of the people that fucked it up the first time.
At a mall.
Yeah, they're Paul Blarts after this whole thing. Like that's the next statement, right?
There was no Paul Blarts today. There was none of that. There's none of that going on.
And listen, you give the men and women in uniforms some credit. I mean, you can say what you like about the carceral state. I hate it as well as anybody else. But when it comes to keeping, 1 million people safe from like 4,000 degenerates, you got to do it. And listen, reasonable limitations. I watched the craziness with the charter going around the other day. I don't know if you saw that. Someone's like, we have the right to do whatever we want, wherever we want. It says it in the charter. And literally in the first sentence, the words reasonable limitations and peaceful protests are in like the first fucking 5 words of the. And I'm like, do you guys just keep missing that point? And they're like, fuck you. That's, their answer for everything is fuck you. But that's really, again, that sticking point of what it comes down to is like, they don't read, they can't comprehend, and they take things out of context, and then they beat the shit out of everybody with it. But this is over, man. Like, this is over. We're going to see, I would say in the next 3 to 6 months, a real drop in fucking protests. This is, if it happens in Ottawa again this summer, it's probably going to be a pop-up unless something major happens and culturally or politically that, starts the ball rolling. But I can't see this being sustainable anymore. I think we've seen what is the start of the fucking end for these crackjacks. And they're going to move on to something else, right? It doesn't matter what it is.
What'll happen is we'll start getting
still
a
won't
fourth
want to
shot,
go and spruce up a resume.
Fourth booster shot, and then we'll all start falling like flies.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, finally, because I've been waiting to see where the bodies are piling up.
Yeah.
From the shot that we're all taking.
I also think that the conflict in Ukraine is probably shedding a little bit of light, some sunlight on these dicks as well, right?
Have you guys noticed since the start of this thing, we've been fairly vocal as we normally are. I say the things that I say, it happens, but not one fucking hate tweet from nobody. Like when this happened in it might have been the fact that I posted the Give, Send, Go donor link and that went viral across the world, maybe. But like none of the bots, no bots. It's been a bot-free protest. Like I haven't had people come after me. I haven't had, fake, profiles created in 2022, pestering me with thousands of tweets, really no death threats to speak of, lots of death wishes, but I get that all the time. I hope you die. Of course you do, because
normal.
you can't verbalize.
Sorry about sending that.
Emotions. Yeah. Thank you, Marianne. By the way, I'm not intending on dying today. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've noticed too. I mean, with Russia and everything that's going on in Ukraine, they're fucking busy. They're too busy to help it out with this. That's why this is a failure too, right? This is what you're seeing without the support of international help. This is what you're seeing without, like, Trump and Flynn and all those fucking losers and that whole cabal. And then, Russia's busy trying to legitimately stay alive because they're going to get it. Did you see? And I saw this Chinese news report where this Chinese reporter was talking about how the government was planning on divvying up all the different parts of the USSR to China once it collapses. Did you see that the other day?
What I said, you know what? I guarantee you at some point, if he decides that he wants to try and launch those nukes, China's like NATO just has to look at China and say, hey, listen, once we scorch it, you can have it for the oil. Are you guys in? And they'll be like, okay, we're in. That's all they want them for is the oil.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we're seeing the end of it. We are legitimately seeing, and I'll tell you something. What's going on in Ukraine has a lot to do with this kind of starting to implode too. You're going to see that movement not propped up anymore. Not propped up by fake bullshit, fake bots, fake fear, fake shit.
Well, they have a mirror too, right? I think that's the other thing as well. So that's, on top of not all of us dying because we got the vaccine, the mandates coming down, and it not being because of these fucking so-called freedom fighters, a lot of this stuff is just it's presenting too much stuff they can't ignore anymore, right? Like, it just, you can't ignore the fact that we're getting back to normal again, that this isn't a communist country, no, all this bullshit that they fucking
of dead people from
spiel.
Vaccines.
Yeah, like it, you know what? And so it's slowly eating away at their narrative, and yeah. And again, like Dean alluded to it, I've mentioned it. When you're sitting there bitching about the fact that you can't fly somewhere in Canada because you don't want to wear a fucking mask. And then the next news story comes on and you're watching another country bomb the shit out of Ukraine, right? And you see actual
perspective,
actual fucking hardship. People living in fear every day. People trying to get out of a country that's being fucking unfairly, like illegally bombed by another. Like it just makes them look silly. All of them.
Yeah, petty, right?
Yeah.
That's and I mean, dude, I was talking with Alex this morning. I was literally talking with Alex. I'll read you the text. He sends me a note. He's like, reports a successful Ukrainian strike on Russian command post near Elysium. Many dead soldiers, officers, including one general, stand with Ukraine. He's like, one more general down. Fuck him. And then Alex sends me another picture of himself laughing at the general who got shot. It's like just a gif of himself. And then he starts sending me different pictures and videos of things that he's hoping to buy when we can finally send him a little bit of money and he can go down into the bomb shelter and he can help a bunch of people. And that's a freedom fighter to me. Right. Yeah. That is a guy, that's a freedom fighter. People that fight for the freedom of others, not their own individual freedoms, which really don't matter in the big scheme of things, right? That's what we talk about all the time. And I say this from time to time, too. It's fucking bad for the hive is bad for the bee. Those people just continue to make themselves worse inside every day. There's a cost to that behavior. There's an internal fucking fuel tank that gets filled up, and once it blows, it blows. I mean, the negativity that these people put inside themselves on a daily basis, lying to themselves about everybody around them having it in for them, it adds up over time, and you become legitimately insane. So we have that to look forward to in 3 years.
Stacy, thank you for the donation. I did see that donation come through, so that's fantastic.
Yeah,
just in the comment section there.
Crazy that today's our last day of that t-shirt campaign for Alex in Ukraine, by the way, and that goes till midnight, right, Locke?
Yeah, we're gonna pull that down on midnight. We actually talked about another idea potentially for May, but I want to end this one right so that we have like a finish line so that we can send him some money. We way over exceeded our expectations by a couple $1,000s, to be honest with you. Like I said to Dean at the beginning of this, man, if we could get him $3,000, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think in a week we had $3,000.
What are you at? What are you at now?
Well, the last time, which was about a week and a half ago, we calculated it was we were just over $5,000, and I think we're up over $6,000 now.
Yeah, somebody like late the other night was $500 just out of the middle of nowhere. Must have been watching one of the recorded shows. It was fucking awesome. These guys are amazing.
And the shirts yesterday and today have been selling like crazy. Scotty sent me a text this morning and he went, I can't believe how many shirts we've sold in the last 24 hours. That's not the shirt.
That's for this weekend, by the way. That's the Sons of Stupidity t-shirt for #RollingBlunderOttawa that we're looking at. And it's
you can get it in orange too.
That's great.
I like the orange one actually.
Also green. You can get it in green, orange, blue. You can get it in a baby tee,
black.
Yeah.
Does it come in a tube top?
Yeah, you want one? Send it to you.
Putting it on a brown model triggers them even more, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
I think we sold last count we had sold over 70 shirts for the Slava Ukraine. Yeah. And we're gonna keep it up today, and then we'll give you once we get a design and we get some of our I's dotted and our T's crossed, we'll figure out the next campaign, and we'll get you guys the next one. I think is going to be a little bit better, just based on the fact that we won't be stuck with the yellow. The yellow sort of handcuffed us because we only had that one shirt design. That was it. So we couldn't get a woman's or anything like that. It
looks good though. I don't care what anybody says. It does look good. You wore it the other day, and I'm not usually a fan of yellow, and actually it's not a bad looking shirt. So
it's not a bad looking shirt, but it was the only yellow shirt in the whole that Printful had.
Yeah.
Which is the company that punches all our cups and fanny packs and T-shirts and all that shit.
And just so everybody knows, also Sheeple Shepherd podcast merchandise. Lachlan and I haven't had the official discussion, but any proceeds over and under.
Why not now?
No, over and above the because it's relevant, Marianne. What time is it? It's relevant because any proceeds over and above the cost, we're gonna Sheeple Shepherd's gonna give to the cause for Alex as well. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So in May we'll figure out what that is, and we'll start up something new. But get that yellow shirt and get any donations you can in before midnight. We're gonna add it up. There he is.
There it is. These are just people at the bottom too. How fucking cool is that?
That is actually the impetus for the discussion about the next design idea.
Yeah, I told Alex what you were thinking of doing it. These are great. These are people. By the way, if you bought a shirt, put it on Twitter. We'll retweet it and say thank you, and everybody gets all the love and support and
awesome.
Nice big community. We're all together in this anyway. But I told Alex what you were thinking of calling the next one. He's like, please do that. Please do that.
Don't tell anybody what it is though, because it'll be a good surprise.
Yeah, hang on to it. Hang on to it.
Yeah, but we need to make it like we need to really play up the last part of those two words. Like we need some really haunting imagery. We need some really demeaning, like a really demeaning visual of that person, and like one that if we put it online, that person would send someone with Novichok to our house to try and kill us with tea. That's what I'm talking about. That shirt's gonna fucking sell.
You guys are being t-shirt teases.
Yeah,
I want Marianne.
Go to the shop. Go to the shop. You can buy anything you want there, Marianne.
No,
we are being t-shirt teases.
Yeah,
but I want this t-shirt. I want this t-shirt like it's like a Little House on the Prairie meets Satan.
Yes.
Also, maybe some light buggery.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand this combination at all.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Sense.
It does.
It'll make sense when we Rob's getting warmer. Rob, warmer.
Yeah, this is a very sorry. I know we're being so cryptic, but it's
so
worth
vague.
it. I promise it will be.
Kings
it will be worth it
today.
when it's revealed for the next campaign. You're gonna love it. I promise.
Yeah, you will.
We started very virtuous. We're gonna get sloppy next, and we're gonna get down in the dirty. And you watch, people are gonna buy more shirts.
Fuck Melissa.
It's gonna be great.
Ding 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 ding.
Hold it. What does she got? Melissa? Did she guess it? Melissa guess it?
No, she's closing in on it though.
She's closing in on it.
Ooh,
yeah.
What is
Rob
it?
is close. Not really. Rob is close. No. It's gonna be a surprise. We can't say anything. I can't.
Don't put Mel's up.
Don't put Mel's. I want the person's face. I'm just gonna say it out loud.
Okay.
I want to see him get split up the middle with
a horse. Remember that horse that he rode with his
by a quarter horse.
I don't know how that translates into a design, but we'll figure it out, Dean. Thank you.
Poor Scotty's going to be so busy.
There's no bad ideas except that one.
It would sell, Marianne. I know you're grossed out, but trust me, it would sell huge.
By the way,
whenever
we're brainstorming, I don't get credit for this
on a live show.
Whenever we're brainstorming on a live show, but whenever we're brainstorming in Twitter or whatever, I always take a shot at Bonzi, and you guys never give me credit for it. I'll always say there's no bad ideas unless it comes from Bonzi. And you guys, crickets, no one ever comments one way or the other on that. I always find that funny.
Because I feel like because we beat him up so much. I'm like, I don't want to fucking beat him up on Twitter as well, because I do it in real life and on
he
the
died,
show.
didn't he?
Yeah, dude, no, he didn't die. He's alive.
Him and Pat King are both dead.
No, they're not. Chris Scott, I thought was dead though, and I just saw him on TV today. I'm like, holy fuck, he is alive. That's unbelievable.
Also, like Danielle, Stacy, Ashley keep wanting a time check, so it's 5:01. By the way,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good to know.
Oh, sorry.
I have ribs to put on, so I gotta go.
Hold on. It's 5:01. Sorry, I did.
Thank you very much, Marianne Iverson. Let's take this outside as the name of our podcast. Top 5 wilderness podcast in this country. Number 3 now.
Yeah,
today.
In the top 3.
No, it's not today. It was a while ago.
Oh, I thought it was today.
I don't know.
Fake news.
If you're an outdoorsy person, you like the wilderness, she's incredible. Her podcasts are unbelievable. Marianne is professional grade, ladies and gentlemen, and her guests are incredible. And you've got a new guest coming up in your next podcast. Who's are we allowed to talk about that or no? No. You wanna talk about
It's
that?
not coming out for a while, but
Okay, so
no-
shut up, Dean. Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
shut up. Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
up.
It's
Okay.
her mom.
No, I don't believe it is. But it's a tremendous podcast. Let's take this outside. Download it wherever you get your fine podcasts, Google, Spotify, Apple, etc. Follow her on Twitter as well. She's actually deadly on Twitter. She's one of those, like an assassin. Yeah, what?
I got many tweets today about. Do you see the guy with? I think you actually showed it. The which it was the guy with another shitty sequel. This guy.
That's great.
Yeah. That's
guy?
blowing up. Yeah, him.
Yeah,
I got
I
a
think
photo
there's
of that
another
guy.
picture of him too. Did you see this one?
Oh,
This guy's balls. Yeah.
Side ball.
See his balls? This guy's nuts.
You know what I'm gonna
Lippage.
do? I'm gonna get a bikini and I'm gonna put that on to show you guys how much of a problem that would be.
We won't be able to put it on the air. We'll get shut down with your balls in that fucking bikini.
Also, I don't do maintenance like that.
Yeah, somebody in the comments earlier said that they were very surprised that there was not a lot of rash there. So he does a good job, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe he's got alopecia. That's the thing, right? Because this is him.
You know what? That
Like, he
could be
doesn't
a
have any
Jada.
hair. Maybe he's got alopecia.
Jada Freedom
knows?
Smith, right there.
I do not have alopecia.
He's got smooth titties too. He's got no chest
He's
hair
got
or
decent
anything.
tits. That guy. This guy has
Yeah.
decent tits.
Yeah,
Look at his
perky.
They are like boobs. Like what
like
is
not
that?
a bad. Yeah, and he's fairly
Is that
thin
craft
for an
beer?
old dude.
Is that
That's craft beer. Yeah, that's craft. That's where the craft beer goes. Usually, domestic beer goes to the gut. Craft beer goes to the tits.
I did not know that was a thing. The craft beer boobies, and then
Yeah.
until I met somebody who is a big
With
craft
tits
beer
that-
fan,
with a C cup?
and they have boobs.
That's
With a C cup.
There's no
He's
way
so
craft
full of
beer
shit.
gives you man tits.
He's
There's
so
no
full of
way.
shit.
It's totally
That is
true.
not
Holy
talk-
shit.
What do you mean? It's totally true.
I'm telling you right fucking
You have
now.
no way.
fucking
There's no
liar.
way you can fucking measure
No.
how fucking craft beer
Does-
gives men tits. There's no way. You know that.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. Does
That's like
Oh,
the
here
whole
we-
ivermectin thing. This anti-parasitic will get rid of your
Hey,
respiratory
Siri.
infection. Doesn't make any
does
sense.
craft beer give you man boobs?
He's asking Siri.
Live on the show.
Okay. I found this on the web for does craft beer give you man boobs? Check it out.
Hops in IPA beers linked to man boobs.
Oh,
Drinking IPAs could give you man boobs and erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
Are IPAs giving you man boobs? This is how you know.
You know,
Three
they-
stories.
so
I'm
they
telling
can't.
you.
Their dick don't work and their boobs get bigger.
Yes.
You ever
this
met a
is-
person that drinks craft beer exclusively? That makes a lot of sense now, actually.
This is
Yes.
from fatherly.com. Don't know how accurate fatherly.com is as a science or fucking a medical site. Don't think it is. Says IPAs, the hops that give India Pale Ale their signature bitter flavor, contain a plant-based form of estrogen known as phytoestrogen that could cause men to develop
Phytocare.
man boobs and erectile dysfunction. So all of you hippies out there in your IPAs, all of you, because I've got hippie friends and they're like, I will have it. I won't have a beer unless I could have an IPA.
We're all
You
about
guys
health
all,
on this show.
you're all getting tits.
That's right.
Man boobs.
We're all about health.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. It's Ryan
Another
Linder,
segment of
Shepherd
Dr. Locke.
podcast. That is Lachlan Cross.
I love you, boys. That was
95.7
great.
Cruise FM. Love you too. We're going to take a knee and not do a show tomorrow because I don't think we can. I think we witnessed the
wrapped it
death of the
today.
movement today. I think we wrapped
You're
it
right.
perfectly.
Yep.
I think we
sure.
saw the end of the movement today.
I think it's fizzling out, Dean. I don't think you're wrong.
No, I think I'm right.
Yeah.
But thanks for doing this, boys. Great to
Thank
see you.
you. Thank you for
Take care,
having me.
man.
We'll see you
Thanks.
Monday. Take
Bye,
care.
We'll see you Tuesday, Lachlan, too.
See him Tuesday. We'll see you Tuesday.
I have
That is
your hot
Ryan
sauce.
from the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. Great man, smart fella. Lachlan, also a great man. Great guy. These are good people. It's fun to work with your friends. Anyway, there you go. There you have it. It's kind of over. I mean, yeah, you're going to get the stragglers, right? But think of this as like a really greasy bowel movement. Hear me out. You know, sometimes you eat a lot of chips, And then you'll chase the chips maybe with an ice cream sandwich, Oreo ice cream sandwich. Then you might have like a salad later in the day because you feel guilty about the chips and the ice cream. And then you'll have some hot wings after that. It's kind of how we've been treating society. The next day, which is today, you grease this incredible void. Just unbelievable. And while you're doing it, you're going through the pain of discovering how terrible it is to eat like that, to treat your body like that. And then you get to the last few stragglers where it's basically liquid. That's what we're seeing here. Liquid stragglers. That's what we have going for us. That's what you saw today. The liquid stragglers of the Flute Trucks Klan movement. And by and large, that whole idea that these guys are a big force in Canada, that wasn't a big force. You had a couple thousand people there. No Russia, no America, no Mike Flynn, no Seb Gorka. Seb, I'm looking at you, you dumb fuck. No American evangelical power machine. Nothing. That's what you get. That's what that was. What we're seeing today. Just getting drunk, having a party, do a little meth, watch Chris Guy get arrested. No big deal. Anyway, better times ahead. Have a great day. Have a wonderful time. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a great weekend as well. Don't forget, you can pick us up wherever you get your fine podcast. Go to our YouTube channel. That would be awesome. We'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. You go to YouTube, Dean Blundell Show on YouTube. Of course, Twitch, Dean Blundell TV on Twitch. Follow us on socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. It's Dean Blundell. You'll know because it's verified. And then D Blundell Show is the actual show account. And the account for all of our podcasts, over 100 now in the DeanBlundell.com network. And thanks to our friends and sponsors at EasyAutoFinancial.ca. I just had some coffee. Sorry, I'm burping it up right in the middle of the sponsors. Sorry, guys. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. They'll get you in a car and get you the financing that you need. If financing is a big issue, they will help you out. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. Call them today. Make sure you go online. Check them out because what they do is they get your financing. It doesn't cost you anything. They love people with bad credit. They don't care about anything. They just want to make sure you get a car. And then what they do is they send you to go get the car with the free financing, and it's all turnkey. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. Go there today. Also, hi to our friends at Ed's Fine Imports. He gives us Gitch. You should be wearing them if you're a fella. Luxury boxer briefs, pouch in the front. These underwear are going to revolutionize Gitch, and I'm telling you that right now because I wear them every day. And I'm one of those guys that's like an underwear hawk. Like I find a pair and I stick with them. And I had a pair for a long time, and then I got a pair of Ed's Gitch, and I'm like, dude, I got to wear a pair of these all the time. And he's like, well, why don't you tell people about them? So that's what I'm doing. Go to Ed's Fine Imports, his Gitch. Gitch3 is your promo code. Order online. Today, big online clothing store as well. Clothing for men and boys at edsfineimports.com. And Domination. Dominate with your content by using domination.com, DMNTN.com. Try them today for free. If you do streaming content, if you do gaming content, you want to do promos, these guys are incredible. You can try them for free. Save you a ton of time. One file will give you 72 pieces. Go to DMNTN.com today and try them for free. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate you being here. See you on Monday. We're going to take a knee tomorrow. No point. It's over. Bye.